Hi, my name is Vallard. I'm the GM of Adeon's The Dawn of Heroes campaign. We stream our games over on twitch.tv/Vallard_, and soon an edited version for YouTube. Today, we're going to be learning how to make a character for Adeon. All new characters start off in the spawning pool. In the spawning pool, you start off with the other blank souls. Clicking on your character and selecting them will allow you to move. Now, before we can start, we do have to make one game modification. Moving your cursor to the top right-hand corner of the screen, we need to click on the game settings. Once you open up the game settings, you want to come down to Configure Settings. It's the very first box. Once you click on Configure Settings, you will see you have three tabs: Core, System, and Module. You want to click on the module setting. Once you click on the module settings, you will see a bunch of mods. But right now, we only have to focus on one, and that's the very first mod, 5e Sheet Resources Plus. You're going to want to make sure that your box is set to 7. If it's not, which most likely it isn't, move the slider till it reaches 7, and then click Save Changes. Once you've done that, you're ready to make your way into the realm of the living. Continue forward, whereupon you will meet an old soul who will give you a little bit of information about what's going on. After you speak with the old soul, continue to move forward into the character selection. Here, you'll be able to select whichever race you wish to be. Adeon has several races to choose from. Choose between Dwarf, Orc, Half-Orc, Human, Half-Elf, Wood Elf, High Elf, Shadow Elf, Gnome, or a homebrewed custom race, a Narf, which is a combination of a gnome and a dwarf. And once you have a better understanding of the game and how it works, and you're really up for a challenge, you can try our other homebrew race, the Netherians. Each race has its pros and cons. I'm going to go ahead and make one step by step just to give you an idea. For the sake of this tutorial, I am going to create a dwarf character. To open up your character sheet, hit the C key. So there is some basic information on the dwarf character sheet. Each race will have its own breakdown. Clicking on the biography tab will bring up its biography. Adventuring age is the minimum age your character can be to start playing. Being that this would be my first time playing, I think I will go ahead and start off with that base age of 35. All this information here you would have to enter in manually, and you could fill out the rest as you go forward. So I went ahead and created some basic information for my character. Being that this is my first time playing, I've decided to be 35, which is the base age to start adventuring. Being that this would be my first time playing the game, I get to grow with my character. I decided to be male. My character size is medium. My height is 4 feet. And my weight is 130 pounds. My hairstyle is going to be medium, brown, and curly. And my eyes are going to be a light brown. Now you will notice that there is a base movement. So no two dwarves will necessarily be the same. So to get your base movement, you have 1d4 times 5. Get a dice roll. And I got 2. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 10 is 20. I really got the short stick on that one, but that's okay. So 20 is going to be my base movement. Click on the little cogwheel and then go ahead and switch this to 20. And then click Submit. Once you click Save, an important note: before you click on your movement, make sure you save your biography. After entering in your movement, there's some more basic information. You have dark vision, and it also tells you your radius. Your racial modifiers. Each race will have their own modifiers. For a dwarf, I will get a +1 strength, -2 dexterity, and a +1 constitution. So we'll go ahead and click on the Attributes tab, located on the far left. And then we will enter in those values. So for strength, we get a +1, making that a 9. -2 dexterity, making that a 6. And a +1 Constitution, making that a 9. All base values for the game start off at 8. Once you've entered in your racial modifiers, you will see that you get some racial abilities. You get a +1 to blacksmithing, your difficulty check. You get 1d4 DTD. Now, DTD is short for damage till dazed. The amount of damage you can take before being dazed. So let's go ahead and roll that. It's a 1d4. We got a 4. So in our resource boxes, you will see damage till dazed. We'll go ahead and change that to 4. And this right here is a bonus that the dwarves get. The damage till dazed will be greater once we continue with the character creation. We get a +5 to soak charges with armor. A little bit more on that later. We also get the ability Thick-Headed. Once you click on that, being a dwarf, there are some things that just come with the turf. A hard head just so happens to be one of them. Gains a natural +1 AC bonus. So go ahead and click and drag that onto the character sheet. You will notice that it's going to be in your inventory tab. You will find that item, and it is important to make sure that it is on your character, in the inventory screen. And there you go. It is right there. Now that it's on your character sheet, there are no other bonuses or mods that we get. It's also important to make note of anything that is not clickable. After you've copied down and brought over all your character stats, your stat modifiers, your racial abilities, we can move on to the next room. As you make your way on to the next room, you can speak with the gatekeeper for some additional information. You make your way into the character classes. In Adeon, there is 5 classes to choose from. We have Monk, Martial Artist, Ninja, Samurai, and a blank canvas with the Wanderer. Keep in mind, the Wanderer is the most difficult class to play as they start off with virtually nothing. After you choose a class, for this tutorial, I've decided to create a Samurai. As a Samurai, your hit dice is 1d12 plus your con mod. You get to choose 2 savings throws between Strength, Wisdom, and Charisma. For this, I'm going to go ahead and pick Strength, and you just go ahead and click on the little bubble beneath your stat number. And I'm also going to choose Charisma. Next, we're going to go ahead and pick our skill proficiencies. Now, this is half proficiencies. We get to choose 2 between History, Insight, Intimidation, and Perception. Go over to our skill list, going with Insight. Now, the skills that you're choosing are half proficiency. So you want to make sure that bubble is half filled. And Perception. All characters start the game off at level 1. We get to click for our hit points. Being that it's level 1, we get to roll 2d12. This only applies to level 1. So we'll go ahead and click on the hit points. And I got 14, 2 7s. Not bad at all. So we'll go ahead and hit 14. Once we've done that, now we get to roll our DTD, our damage till dazed. You click on that, and I got a 2, plus 8 plus dex mod. So that equals up to 10. So we come over here to our damage till dazed, and we add 10, which now makes it 14. I am pretty tanky. Now you also get to add your dexterity mod, but we're going to have to come back to that after we fill in our stats. Now for the good stuff. Armor type. We got 3 different options for armor. We can go unarmored, light armor, or medium armor. Being that I'm planning on making my character kind of a tank, I'm going to go ahead and choose medium armor. Now to do this, you come over here to your character sheet, and you see armor proficiencies. Right here. You want to click over here on the notepad, and that'll bring up this little box. Go ahead and check medium armor. All characters are able to hold shields. Then go ahead and click update. Next off, we got our class type. there are two different styles for the samurai. First off, we get to have weapon proficiency blades, or we can choose weapon proficiency ranged. Despite whichever one you choose, you will get basic martial arts secondary. So in this case, I don't really want to be a ranged dwarven samurai, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Blades 1. So like armor, you would go over here and select your edit, and for this one, you would have to actually type in blades. You come in here in this little field, right there, and then type in blades, and then update. Once you've done that, you are done in this stage. You can close out those windows, and then move over here to the trainer. Click on his token. You'll be greeted with some information. Once you've clicked on the trainer, you will find that you have 24 honor points to spend on your character. So you can go ahead and click 24 on the honor points right there. First thing I want to do is upgrade my strength. I want a +2 to damage on my strength. So to get it to a +2, I'm going to need to raise my strength to a 14. To raise it to a 14, it's going to cost me 8 honor points. But I will get a modifier of +2. So if it's going to cost me 8 points, I will subtract the 8 from my 24, leaving me with 16 honor points. And my strength is now a 14. Next thing I want to do is definitely bring up my dexterity. My dexterity currently is a 6. So I want to bring it up to at least a positive number. So I want to bring it up to, say, a 12. So to get it to a 12, it's going to cost me 6 honor points, making my total honor points 10. There we go, he's starting to come together. Now I'm thinking, for the vision of my character, I want her to be a smooth talker. So I want to go ahead and raise up his charisma a bit, at least a +1. So I will need to raise his charisma to a 12. It's going to cost me 6 honor points, leaving me with 4. I have 4 honor points left, which means I can bring one stat to a 10. I think at the moment, I will bring up my constitution. It's going to cost me my 4 remaining honor points, but my constitution will be a 10. Once that is done, I can start adding my mods. My DTD goes off of my dexterity. So my DTD will be raised by 1. So instead of 14, 15. My hit points is based off my constitution, which I get, unfortunately, none. So once we've finished adding our modifiers, you may have your damage till dazed, as well as your hit points. In my case, I don't get a constitution bonus, so I don't get to raise my hit points. However, my dexterity did go up 1, so I did get to change my damage till dazed from a 14 to a 15. Now that we've finished in this room, we can continue, but there are some loose ends we need to tie up. The allure in Adeon determines your physical beauty. To do this, you simply roll a d20. So we'll go ahead and click on the d20 roll. Oh! Oh! A 20! A natural 20. So, my character's allure is going to be a 20. So we go ahead and click on the allure box and type in 20. Next we have focus. Our focus is our inner strength, the ability to push forward. In Adeon, there will be, in the later levels, you will get special abilities that are only able to be used a certain amount of times per combat scenario or per day. Your focus will allow you to use those abilities beyond those limits. So we click on the roll 1d4, and my focus is going to be a 2. So we come over here to our focus resource box and enter in the value. Also, in Adeon, all characters start off with 2 actions. There are no bonus actions in Adeon, there are just actions. Next is your toxin level. Occasionally, you might find some items that can aid you, boosters, ointments, potions even. Each time you use them, it's going to raise your toxin level. Our toxin is determined 1d4 plus 5 plus our con mod. So we click on the 1d4. So I rolled a 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. Unfortunately, again, my character does not have a con mod. So we click on the box and type in 7. The backpack rule simply states, in your inventory tab, you will notice at the bottom of the inventory tab there is a meter. It says 0 out of 210. It'll be right down here at the bottom of your character. You will notice there's 3 bars. You need 1 backpack per bar of weight. As an example, if you only have 1 backpack and your weight capacity is a 2, but you only have 1 backpack, there will be some penalties applied. So make sure you at least purchase 3 backpacks. Once you are done, you can come down to the next room. We call this Merchant's Alley. Here we have a weapons merchant, general merchant, and an armor merchant. All characters start off with 80 gold pieces. Clicking on the merchant will bring up their inventory. Here you will get to choose which item you wish to purchase. One thing of note, in Adeon, all weapons are random, meaning no 2 weapons will necessarily be the same. So it is important that when you choose a weapon that you want, make sure to click the box. It'll bring a drop-down menu telling you the values. There are no refunds. After you choose your weapons, your general gear, and your armor, you are ready to continue. One thing to remember, you do not have to use all of your honor points or your gold. Any unused honor points will get to carry over with you to the game. Honor points can also be spent to help you during your sessions. For example, re-rolling a failed roll. 1 honor point will allow you to roll 1 dice over again. Or, if you're feeling generous, you can spend 3 honor points to help an ally to re-roll 1 dice. Just like the honor points, you do not have to spend all of your money here. Any unused coin will carry with you over to the game. Once you've purchased all the items you wish to purchase, don't forget to buy those rations, you are free to continue on to the next area. Here, you will have to choose your character's background. Your background is what your character did before turning of age. There is a fairly large list with pros and cons to each one. For my character, I've decided to go with the militia background. Being a militia gives me a +1 weapon proficiency type. It also gives me a 5% bonus when collecting bounties. The con is, for whatever reason, people are drawn to you. When they have a problem, they come looking for you to fix it. You just have that likable face. Once you've chosen your background, click and drag that box onto your character sheet. You will find that in the Features tab. A side note, because this is a homebrew game, some options will not be automated in the game. It is up to you, the player, to remember what bonuses you have or penalties. From there, you can continue on. Once you've selected your background, you can continue on into the light. And congratulations, you finished creating your first character. There's still a few things to touch up. Adding your character's background, your bio, your description, other things you might want to fine-tune. But if you have any other questions, feel free to message me. I'll see you in the game.